This episode of the Cheer Mom podcast is brought to you by Rebel Athletic. Rebel will be at the All-Star World Championship in Orlando this May with an amazing pop-up shop, and they're going to have a lot of new apparel, including their event-exclusive Cheer is My Sport merchandise. I just love that. Cheer is my sport. They are going to have a really cool promotion where if you bring in any old or used cheer bag or cheer shoes and donate them either for recycling or to be donated to someone else, then you'll get $25 off either a new pair of Rebel shoes or a Rebel Dream bag. That's an amazing deal. So bring in those old, beat up, falling apart cheer shoes. You know that we all have them, and trade them in for $25 off a brand new pair of Rebel Performance cheer shoes. The same goes for cheer bags, like the dream bags. Like everyone wants one of those sparkly dream bags. Bring in an old one that you don't use anymore and get $25 off a gorgeous new Rebel dream bag. If you can't make it to the All-Star World Championship, don't worry. You can get all the Rebel Athletic items to fill your closet by going to rebelathletic.com. Plus, you can use the code CHEERMOM at checkout and you'll get 10% off just for listening to this podcast.
All the moms in the world, let's chat it up. We're talking competitions, uniforms, and all of the above. It's the Cheer Mom, yes, the Cheer Mom podcast. Cheer Mom, yes, the Cheer Mom podcast. Cheer Moms, your podcast is on.
Well, everyone, I'm coming to you with another difficult episode, unfortunately. I'm going to give a content warning for this one before we get into it. It has triggering topics and topics that might not be appropriate for the younger kiddos or driving on your way to practice or wherever you are. It contains triggering content of things that we have talked about before that have been happening in the cheer industry, unfortunately. And so before we get into it, if the subject of SA and other situations are difficult for you, this might be an episode that you will want to skip. That said, if you are struggling or know someone who is, there is help available. If you want to call the National SA hotline, that is 1-800-656-4673. All right, let's get into this episode where I'm going to talk about a bombshell that has dropped involving, unfortunately, one of the cheer teams that we all know and love. I just hit stop on the recording. I'm recording this on Monday, and I opened my phone after I hit stop, and there is a new update. Less than a week after a suit was filed in Dallas, Texas, USA Cheer has placed Navarro College famed cheer coach Monica Aldama on the temporary ineligible list, citing member policy violation related to athlete protection. This is part of, I'm assuming, if there are allegations made, Safe Sport immediately puts them on the suspension list. This is an evolving situation. So at the time of recording, that is the information that we have. What does that mean for the summer and for cheer tours moving forward? I do not know, but we will watch the situation closely and let you know. But here is the episode about Coach Monica and Navarro Cheer. Okay, I was back and forth again about recording an episode like this, but I felt like I have to bring all of the information as we get it that comes around in the cheer industry. Now, keep in mind that I am still just a cheer mom. I am not a journalist, and I'm certainly not a lawyer. And so I'm just bringing you the information that is very new and raw, and we don't have every single detail. But I thought that I would bring you the facts, again, the facts that we know so far. And rather than you getting bits and pieces from Twitter or social media or the water cooler around your gym or wherever you get your bits and pieces of information. So on April the 26th, 2023, Maddie Lane, who is a former Navarro College cheerleader, filed a lawsuit in Texas, in Dallas, against Navarro College, Monica Aldama, Michael Landers, who is the athletic director at Navarro College, Elizabeth Pillins, who is over the Title IX procedures and division at Navarro College, and Salvatore, also known as Salvo Amico. I am just going to start off by reading the suit that was filed. I got this document as it was attained by Fitz News, and I will cite that source in the show notes, and you can see it for yourself. The first couple of pages give some background on Navarro College, All Star Cheerleading, the Netflix documentary series Cheer that most of us have seen or at least heard of. And I'm going to skip down and start with the claim that Maddie Lane is making. Plaintiff Maddie Lane was a student athlete cheerleader at Navarro College during the summer and fall of 2021. Maddie was recruited to the Navarro cheer team by then assistant coach Kaylee Peppers and coach Aldama. The plaintiff, Maddie, accepted a position as a freshman cheerleader on the Navarro College Bulldogs cheer team in Corsicana, Texas. She was a happy, successful gymnast who had plans to compete on a nationally ranked cheer team and later make a career in the cheer field. That all changed during her first semester at Navarro College. On September 2nd, 2021, in her university owned and controlled dorm room, Maddie became yet another victim of SA by a person associated with Navarro Cheer. Prior to Maddie's arrival at Navarro College, the defendants, again, Monica, the athletic director, and the woman who's over Title IX, and Salvo Amico, permitted a campus condition rife with SA and lacking the basic standards of support for victims as required by state and federal law. This case arises from the defendant's deliberate indifference to events of SA, harassment, and assaults. Defendant's failure to promptly and appropriately prevent, investigate, and respond to instances of SA and harassment allowed a condition to be created that substantially increased plaintiff's likelihood of being SA'd. Plaintiff, again, when we say plaintiff, we're talking about Maddie Lane. When we say defendants, we're talking about Navarro College, Monica, Salvo, and the staff at Navarro College that are named in the suit. Plaintiff's experience followed a familiar pattern, one where defendants prioritized Navarro Cheer's reputation over the safety and well-being of Navarro College's students, cheerleaders, and guests. In fact, in the years preceding plaintiff's assault, Navarro College had been involved in at least 4 nationally publicized scandals involving its cheer team. Navarro Cheer's nationally publicized scandals, it goes on to talk about the different scandals and lawsuits, including Jerry Harris, Mitchell Ryan, Robert Sienna. You can look those up if you want. It then goes on to talk about some background about Navarro College Cheer and how it's set up that veterans were upperclassmen and then freshman cheerleaders were called rookies. With Navarro Cheer coaches' knowledge, approval, and expectation, veterans instructed rookies on team rules and policies. For instance, veterans instructed rookies that cheerleaders dormed together and selected roommates for rookies. Veterans instructed rookies that cell phones should not ring during practice and punished rookies by forcing them to run laps when phones did ring. Also, veterans informed rookies of the team's Navarro knock policy, which required that the team members leave their dorm rooms unlocked so as to permit members to freely come and go with the use of a specific knock announcing their presence. Coach Aldama knew about these rules and policies and approved of them and veterans' enforcement of them. Rookies were encouraged to earn the letters FIOFMU, which stand for Fight It Out, F 'em Up. Coaches and veterans determined who earned the letters. These letters were prevalently displayed throughout seasons 1 and 2 of Netflix's Cheer. As Women's Health magazine explained, team members write it on their arms and have practice uniforms emblazoned with FIO FMU that they wear on the regular. It's also frequently added as a hashtag to the cheerleaders' posts on Instagram and Twitter. A large number of the veterans have FIO FMU tattoos. Navarro College's director of athletics, Michael Landers, instructed Navarro Cheer that the letters were not allowed. Nevertheless, Coach Aldama sanctioned their use in cheer, and Landers was aware of this. Aldama is quoted in Women's Health magazine as explaining that it's not an uncommon thing in the cheerleading world to have letters that signify you're a part of a really special family. It's just an acronym for something that we like to keep to ourselves. It's your encouragement to make it through the cheerleading season and puts you together as a family. But contrary to Aldama's attractive explanation, the letters were currency in a dark game where coaches and veterans bribed rookies to run errands, party, and perform sexual favors. In the spring of 2018, just prior to leaving Corsicana for competition in Daytona, Florida, veterans required rookies to attend an initiation. Veterans hazed rookies as part of the initiation. They instructed rookies to dress in black and paint their faces black, known as blackfacing. Gabby Butler, then first year on the Navarro cheer team, followed these instructions. In December 2022, Butler received criticism when her blackface photographs were leaked in social media. Defendants were aware of Navarro Cheer's pervasive culture of sexual harassment, sexual violence, intimidation, but rather than report abuse and hold perpetrators accountable, defendants knowingly, intentionally, and with reckless disregard for the safety of others turned a blind eye and decidedly failed to investigate and report allegations of misconduct. Navarro Cheer's culture of sexual misconduct was promoted by intimidation and the power imbalance between coaches and cheerleaders and between veterans and rookies. Given national news coverage of the scandals spanning from 2018 to the spring of 2021, Navarro College was under immense pressure to show the media, prospective and incoming students, and third parties, including Netflix and the National Cheerleading Association, that it had corrected problems with sexual violence. But rather than remedy team culture, defendants promoted it by engaging in a campaign to silence victims and protect abusers. Defendants' conduct encouraged the environment that led to plaintiffs' sexual assault, harassment, and intimidation by Navarro cheer team members and Coach Aldama. As a result, plaintiff suffered pain, mental anguish, emotional distress, humiliation, and was forced to quit the team and withdraw from Navarro College. Hey, if you're going to be at the All-Star World Championship in early May, Rebel is running an amazing promotion. Bring in your old cheer shoes or an old cheer backpack, turn it into them to be recycled or donated, and they're going to give you $25 off a new pair of Rebel shoes or a new Rebel Dream bag. What an amazing deal. If you can't make it, that is okay. Visit rebelathletic.com and enter code CHEERMOM for 10% off of your order. That's rebelathletic.com. Enter coupon code CHEERMOM and get 10% off. Okay, so let's just take a minute here and talk about what Title IX is, because it comes up in the next part of it. It's complicated, but from what I understand and in layman's terms, again, not an attorney, not well educated on these things, Title IX is basically the program that protects members of an educational system. I'm assuming students. I'm not sure if that includes staff, but it protects them against sexual discrimination and harassment based on sex, race, ethnicity. It's It's basically, from what I understand, like affirmative action in the workplace, but for school and for, for these entities that have federal assistance. Again, not an expert, but that's what I gathered from doing the little bit of research that I did. And so if something is happening to a student at a school that is federally funded, Title IX protects them. All right, here is the background of the incident. I am going to skip over some details because they are pretty graphic, but you will get the idea. On March 1st, 2021, plaintiff, again, Maddie Lane, a senior at Midland Christian High School, attended a clinic at Navarro College to try out for its cheer team for the 2021-2022 academic year. Both Coach Aldama and assistant coach Peppers were present. Aldama asked plaintiff if she was trying out anywhere else, and plaintiff informed Aldama that she intended to try out with Trinity Valley Community College's cheer team the following day. Trinity Valley is ranked as the number 2 junior college cheerleading program in the nation. Aldama told plaintiff that she could have a spot on Navarro's cheer team if she would accept it that day. Plaintiff accepted the spot that day. She did not try out for any other collegiate cheer teams that spring. On Wednesday, March 17th, 2021, plaintiff signed official papers at her high school accepting the position on Navarro College's cheer team. Plaintiff attended cheer camp at Navarro College that summer and began classes that fall. Plaintiff was to room with fellow rookie Emmeline Don Vito, Emma. Plaintiff, again Maddie, was initially shocked at the atmosphere of Navarro cheer. Cheerleaders engaged in extreme partying, drank alcohol excessively, and abused drugs. Many female cheerleaders often snorted Adderall to encourage weight loss. Plaintiff abstained from engaging in this atmosphere and had no interest in earning letters. She was studious and had the highest GPA on the team. She served as the team tutor and assisted other rookies with homework and writing essays. Plaintiff's longtime high school boyfriend, Tristan Marsh, attended Hill College in Hillsboro, Texas. In her little free time, she spent time with him there or in Corsicana. Plaintiff also practiced at cheer athletics in Plano, Texas a few times a week. On the evening of Wednesday, September 1st, 2021, plaintiff, again Maddie, went to Hillsboro to visit her boyfriend, Tristan. Emma and most of the other cheerleaders went to a party. When plaintiff returned to the dorm that night, she did homework and went to bed. Emma, her roommate, returned to the room around 4 a.m. on Thursday morning and woke up Maddie. Emma asked Maddie to walk her to Salvo Miko's dorm room. Salvo was a fellow rookie that Emma had kissed at the party that night. Emma wanted to invite him to their dorm. Plaintiff agreed to walk with Emma because the dorm parking lot was not safe at dark. Plaintiff and Emma walked to Salvo's dorm, and Emma invited Salvo to come back to their dorm. When the three returned to the girls' dorm, Emma's boyfriend, veteran cheerleader William Will Hernandez, was waiting. Plaintiff went to the bedroom to go back to sleep, leaving Emma, Will, and Salvo in the living room. A little while later, Emma and Will entered the bedroom and got on Emma's bed. Shortly thereafter, Salvo entered the bedroom and got on Maddie's bed. He began pulling he began pulling off her clothes. She screamed for him to stop and tried to keep him from removing her clothes, but he continued. He continued further. She screamed for him to stop. Eventually, she was able to turn her body and push him away. She told him that he needed to leave, and he left the dorm. Plaintiff did not know what to do. She stayed in bed until her alarm went off, and then she tried to go about her normal routine. On Friday, she told several team members about the assault, and they encouraged her to come with them to a party that evening. At the party, veteran Maddie Brum, the team's unofficial captain, pulled her aside and asked her about the assault. Maddie explained what had happened. Brum told her, "You just need to drink it off and get your mind off of it, because that's what Navarro girls do. They drink. We don't tell anyone, we just keep it to ourselves." Brum told plaintiff not to tell Coach Aldama about the assault because there was no reason to stress her out. Maddie Brum also told Maddie Lane that if she reported the incident, the school would cut the cheer program and everyone would know why and hate Maddie Lane. On Saturday, Maddie Brum told Maddie Lane that she and Salvo needed to talk it out like adults. Maddie Brum assigned 2 male cheerleaders, Joshua Stamper and Stace Artigue, to accompany Maddie Lane to Salvo's room. Stace Artigue and plaintiff entered the room, and Salvo apologized to Maddie Lane for assaulting her. Maddie Brum then instructed Stamper and Artigue to escort Maddie Lane everywhere to ensure that she did not report the assault. At a time when Maddie Lane was not being watched, she called her boyfriend Tristan and asked him to visit her. When he arrived, she told him about the assault. Tristan drove Maddie to his apartment where he picked up 3 of his friends. The 5 of them returned to Navarro College. Tristan and his friends went to Salvo's dorm. They saw Artigue guarding the door. Tristan exchanged words with Artigue and then left. He and his friends went to the plaintiff's dorm to help her gather some of her things. Artigue called the police to report that Tristan assaulted him, and Tristan reported Salvo's assault of plaintiff to the officers. While they were packing at plaintiff's dorm, the campus police arrived and asked for Tristan. The police informed Tristan that Artigue reported that Tristan had assaulted him. Tristan told the police that the only assault that happened was Salvo's assault of plaintiff. The police instructed Tristan that he was banned from campus property and that they needed to leave. Plaintiff, Tristan, and his friends grabbed what they had packed, got in Tristan's vehicle, and left campus. They noticed a vehicle following them. Inside the vehicle was Ty Johnson and Robert Stone and several veteran cheerleaders. The veterans pointed guns at Plaintiff and Tristan and threatened to kill them for reporting the assault. Plaintiff called Coach Monica Aldama. When Plaintiff started to tell Aldama about the assault, Aldama interrupted her, saying, "Let's not make this a big deal. I want the best for you, and I will help you cheer wherever you want." Plaintiff hung up the phone. Then Plaintiff called her mother, Terry Lane, and told her about the assault. A few days later, when Plaintiff quit the cheer team, Coach Aldama told her, "If you keep quiet, I'll make sure you can cheer anywhere you want." Plaintiff reported the assault to the campus police. The police discouraged her from doing so and informed her that this type of thing happens all the time, that she can report the assault, but that nothing will happen because nothing ever happens. Nevertheless, Plaintiff reported the assault. Plaintiff also reported the assault to Navarro College's Title IX office. The Title IX coordinator, Elizabeth Pillins, informed her that the office did not have the proper documentation to report a sexual assault. Instead, Pillins handed Plaintiff a sheet of paper and told her to write down the answers to some questions. Pillins discouraged Plaintiff from reporting the assault. She informed Plaintiff that neither the Title IX office, nor the campus police department, nor the Corsicana Police Department kept a rape kit on hand, and that the regional medical center does not have a SANE registered nurse. SANE is an acronym for something. I don't know what that is. The closest rape kit available would require a drive to Waco or Dallas, Texas. Pillins told Plaintiff that if she reports the assault, there would be a court hearing, that Plaintiff would have to face her perpetrator, and everyone will hear what happened. Pillins told Plaintiff the public hearing is always embarrassing and does more harm to the victim than good. Several weeks later, Plaintiff's mother, Terry, contacted the campus police asking about the status of the report. The person that answered the phone asked, "What report?" Terry responded that she thought the district attorney would be bringing the sexual assault that she and Plaintiff reported to the grand jury. The person responded, "No, those charges were dropped," and told Terry that there was nothing she could do to change it. Terry, again, this is Maddie's mom, called the Title IX office for an update. Pillins informed Terry that there is no record of Plaintiff's sexual assault, insisting instead to the report Plaintiff attempted to make as allegations. Pillins explained that nothing happened with those allegations. Terry, again, Maddie's mom, called the Title IX office for an update. Pillins informed Terry that there is no record of Plaintiff's sexual assault, insisting instead to the report Plaintiff attempted to make as allegations. Pillins explained that nothing happened with those allegations. Instead, Pillins wanted to discuss 2 different topics. One, a report that was made after video footage showed Artigue stealing a Red Bull from the cafeteria while escorting Plaintiff, and 2, a report about Will hazing another cheerleader. Because of the assault, harassment by team members, and defendant's intimidation tactics, plaintiff quit the team and withdrew from Navarro College. She now attends University of Texas at Permian Basin and is on its cheer team, which her mother, Terry, coaches. Plaintiff's dream of cheering on a nationally ranked team is over, and she has been blackballed from many nationally ranked programs as they have former Navarro cheerleaders as coaches or team members. For instance, Plaintiff tried out for the Texas Tech cheer team, but Brum, a member of Tech's cheer team, persuaded the team against offering Plaintiff a position. As a result of defendant's actions, Plaintiff has suffered pain, mental anguish, emotional distress, and humiliation, for which she now sues. The rest of this is basically making the case for why each person in the lawsuit is responsible and should be sued. The most significant part of it, in my opinion, is that Monica Aldama and the staff at Navarro College knew about this culture of keeping doors unlocked, of veterans sort of lording themselves over rookies, of let's keep this quiet, cover it up. I will link this again in the show notes. You can read it in detail. Don't take my paraphrasing for complete and utter fact, but that's the suit. Now, in a statement, Monica Aldama says she is heartbroken by the false allegations made against her. This was her complete statement as I found it on a news website. As the Navarro cheer coach, the health and safety of the students I coach is my main concern. I have worked year after year to make sure Navarro cheer is a safe space for all cheerleaders. We do not condone or cover up reports of sexual harassment and assault. As an athletics coach and Navarro College employee, I take all Title IX matters very seriously, especially reports of sexual misconduct. I am a rules follower. I always follow all appropriate procedures regarding reporting and responding to any allegations of misconduct in the Navarro College cheer program. I make sure to report and encourage others to report any allegations of harassment, discrimination, or assault to the appropriate authorities and officials. I would never remain silent or ask any student to remain silent if I were aware that any sexual misconduct occurred in the cheer program. Because there is a pending lawsuit against me, I have no further comment at this time. A representative for Navarro College said in a statement to CNN that the college denies any allegations of wrongdoing and is prepared to vigorously defend itself in court. So there you go. That is what we know so far. As far as I know, Maddie Brum and others named in the lawsuit did not comment. I don't imagine that they will comment. Now, I've seen some things floating around on social media saying that Monica has deactivated her Instagram. Maybe she did for like a minute, but her Instagram account is active, but comments are disabled. Maddie Brum's comments are also disabled on her Instagram. Now, I am not going to comment on this lawsuit. I am not going to weigh in on this situation. I wasn't there. It's not my story to tell. I will say that I think that Maddie Lane is incredibly brave to tell her story. She is incredibly brave to come forward, as are all victims of abuse. They know what's at stake when they come forward like this, and we have seen this in the cheer industry where these victims are incredibly brave to come and share their experience. The rest will be for a judge to decide. It will be for attorneys to argue. I don't believe that it is our place as cheer moms, as cheer professionals, as people in the cheer industry to conjecture, to decide. Here's what we can do. We can educate ourselves. We can educate our kids, and we can make sure that the programs that we are associating ourselves and our kids with are educating themselves, are educating their staff, and are being proactive in taking steps to protect our kids. That's all we can do. Unless we were there, unless we were part of it, which very few people were, we cannot decide the fate of one organization or another. I will say that I am glad for brave people like Maddie Lane, like the John and Jane Does who have come forward to tell their story, whether privately, publicly, whether they've included their name, their likeness, to uncover what is happening in the culture of cheer. Let's stay away from a culture of blame, of cover up, of sweeping things under the rug. Let's believe victims and be part of a solution. There is not a lot in this life that we can control, but we can control what we know, we can control what we see, and what we say to others. I think there's definitely been a shift over the last several years over coach athlete contact, over social media interactions. Those are the things that we can, on our local level, on our personal level, be looking out for and be asking questions about. What is the social media policy? What is the coach athlete interaction like? Navarro is a little bit different because now you're dealing with adults. And so that will remain to be seen, and that's what Title IX is for. And hopefully this will be an example and a lesson for colleges and universities to have the resources that they need to help victims, to report in the means necessary or have the tools. Does this mean that your child should not be in cheerleading? We've seen a lot of stories come out. We've seen a lot happen over the last 9 to 12 months, haven't we? There have been some devastating stories, and it's hard to watch it unfold. We've had guests on the show that have told me, yeah, this is hard, but this is needed. This stuff needs to be uncovered so that we can have solutions so that our athletes can be better protected. Does this mean that you shouldn't have your kid in cheerleading? No, it doesn't, because this can happen anywhere. And again, we don't mean that to scare or cause you anxiety, but this can happen in any sport. It has happened in multiple youth activities, unfortunately, because we live in a fallen and evil world. Just because this is happening in certain programs in certain places does not mean that it is happening everywhere. There are some great programs, some great gyms that have your athlete first in mind, that have protections so that they never have to have victims, that hire and train and educate to protect, to create a safe environment. And I think that the future of cheerleading is bright. Now, as far as these lawsuits, we have this one in Navarro. We have something like a dozen or two against Rockstar Cheer and Varsity. These things take months and months and years to resolve. And right now, these are all of the updates that we have. We don't know. So all we can do is move forward, educate ourselves, educate our kids, and make sure that our gyms are doing the same. I hope that this episode informed you. I hope that it helped you. As I get updates, I will give you more. But again, it could be a while before we see anything come of this. I, of course, am here to support you. If there are topics or questions that you have, I will do my best to bring in experts who can help address them. Until next time, till next week when we get back to our regularly scheduled Cheer Mom programming, I love you. I am supporting you. I love your athletes, and We are in this together.